This video is to help you understand how to navigate our course shell in Canvas. So the screen that you're looking at now is our course homepage. This picture is going to look a little bit different after the first week. During this week, we're going to create a class word cloud, and that's going to replace this image moving forward. But other than that, everything else should look the same. When you click on our course from your dashboard, you're going to see this home page. And it's always going to have a to-do list on the right. So this is all of the activities and assignments for the week. So you can see at the end of this week on February 1st, you have these 1, 2, 3 assignments due. So you have the to-do list on the course homepage. You also have a calendar. If you scroll down, you can see the calendar. It shows you that you've got something due on Saturday, the 1st of February, and it shows you that you also have something due on Saturday, the 8th. You can also access the course calendar over here in this toolbar. So if we click on the calendar here, and scroll down, you can see here that these are the 3 assignments that are due this Saturday. This calendar is also going to include assignments that are due for your other courses in Canvas. So to come back to our course, we'll have to click on it again through this courses link. So a couple of other things I wanted to point out about the homepage. There's some information here about getting started. So I recommend that you begin your work each week by reading the weekly announcement. And then after you read the announcement, you proceed to the module and complete each component in the order that they're listed. I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. I also wanted to point out that there's a link to the course syllabus here. And then if you scroll down, you've got links to all the assignments for each week. So these are posted on this page twice. They're in the to-do list and actually 3 times. They're in the to-do list, they're in the calendar, and then they're also listed down here. So I'm going to click out of student view here so that I can show you some of the features of the modules. Okay, so my recommendation was to start by looking at the weekly announcement. You can access those by clicking on this link right here, announcements. And the weekly announcement is going to get you ready for the weekly task. So it's going to be another to-do list. It's also going to be a place where I communicate other things that I think you need to know about that particular week. So that information is available here at the announcements tab. So I recommend that you start each week there, read the weekly announcement, and then proceed to the weekly module. So this is what the modules look like. Each week, I've tried to organize each week in the same way so that you can proceed through them quickly and so that you know what to expect. So this week is a little bit different. This first week is a little bit different in that we have a 0 week and week 1. So this week I'm going to ask you to do some activities that allow us to get to know each other, that show that you're getting to know Canvas, and that you understand the syllabus. And then we will have some content that's covered in the week 1 module. So that's all right here. I'm going to show you a more typical week. So I'm going to focus right now on week 2. So all of the rest of the weeks are going to look more like week 2. There's only going to be 1 module. So in each module, the first page is going to include an overview that has learning goals. So you should focus on these as you proceed through the content. And then it has a list of all of the activities that are due that week. So I recommend that you start here to get yourself pointed in the right direction. you can move to the next component of the module by clicking Next. So the second thing in each module is the content for that week. So that's going to look something like this, where you have links to readings in our textbook or links to articles. This week I've included some important vocabulary words and some videos. If you wanted to proceed to the next component of the module, you could click here. You could also go back to modules and you could click on it through this index. So that each module is going to include a landing page with learning objectives and a weekly list of things to do. It's going to include the content page that we were just looking at, and then it's going to include a discussion. So this is an example of a discussion that you're going to see weeks, every single week, week 2 through week 15 in our courses, except for the weeks that we have exams. But these are opportunities. This kind of discussion I call a 1-minute question. Your initial post is just going to be a summary of the week's content, and then you're going to ask a question, 1 or maybe 2 questions that you have about the content. This is due by Wednesday. I want to point out that this doesn't show up in your to-do list as being due on Wednesday. This discussion is open until Saturday, so the to-do list and the calendar just show that date. But every single week, I want this initial post to be up there midweek. The reason why I want to see those by midweek is because you're going to have to post a follow-up to your peers, and I want to give you plenty of time to do that. In your follow-up, you're going to look at the question or questions that one of your peers posted, and you're going to try to provide them with a thoughtful and a thorough answer. This is your chance to be the teacher. You can post a link to an article that may help your peer answer a question. You can post a link to a web page or a video, or refer them to specific text in some of our course readings. I do want to see both the source of information and a summary in your own words. The last thing that's listed here is the grading rubric. So this shows you exactly how I'm going to determine your score for this 5-point weekly discussion. So every week you're going to see in the module that list of learning objectives, followed by the content, followed by a discussion. And then there's always going to be an activity. So these activities are worth 10 points. This is going to be some kind of a hands-on activity that's meant to help reinforce some of the content that you've learned in the module. And then the last thing you're going to see is a quiz. So a 10-point quiz is an opportunity for you to show me how much you learned in that week's module. These are not going to be proctored using Proctorio. You may use your notes to help you, but they are timed and you will only have 1 attempt to complete each of these quizzes. Okay, so hopefully everybody has a good sense of what to expect in every one of our modules. As I mentioned, this week's a little different, but after week 2, they're going to be consistent and you'll see the same components in the same order every week. The only other thing I wanted to point out here is that you also are going to have access to your grades. By clicking on this link, you'll be able to see your grade for every assignment and also the feedback that I've given you on that assignment. The only other thing I want to point out is this week I'm asking you to set your notifications, add a profile picture, make sure Canvas has the correct email address for you. All of that is going to be done at this tab, the Account tab. Okay, hopefully this helps you get started. Please let me know if you have any questions.